Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. I have quite a bit of things to talk about, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, like I said, more so specifically exploring a little bit of some new updates and some new information that we found, as well as kind of branching it back to some older overall PDFs and stuff like that. So I do have some exciting things. Now with this, we also are talking about Bitcoin. I just want to warn you guys, the more and more that we retest this point, that we're currently retesting multiple times now, which is about the low of currently 45.6K. The more and more that this gets retested, the weaker and weaker it gets. I have been saying that we could be, breaching down to those September lows. In fact, I think that if we did reach those September lows and pretty much have a similar run that we did all the way to the all-time high, it would be fairly significant. It would also be very healthy for the markets. And this is pretty much those lows of even going as far down as like 39.5K to about 40.8K. Yeah, sure, we could have a little bit of a bounce off of the 618, but this would be an overall 702 retracement, and we know that Bitcoin loves the 702 retracement. You guys even see us, perfectly bounce off of that on September 27th, or the week of September 27th, because this is the weekly chart. But overall, I am watching, Bitcoin closely. XRP, I'm not really watching too close. I mean, I'm not really dead set on a lot of these altcoins, going to perform incredibly well in the coming days or anything like that. I'm not looking for anything like that. I honestly want us to hold the levels that we're currently at, which is almost the 80 centile range, which is the 786. If we do lose this, yes, we will retest a lot lower. But the reason why I'm watching XRP in general is because I see what's about to happen within the market. And what's going to be happening is crypto adoption is going to thrive later in this year, especially even starting now. I think that we're going to see a lot more adoption happening for crypto in general. But, I want to talk to you guys about the use cases behind XRP, because right now we're sitting at peanuts compared to what XRP should really be worth in terms of price and from its, overall use cases, which we're going to be talking about. So, without further ado, let's stop talking more so about TA, because overall we have a lot of grounds to make up before we even flip bullish. Like, I'm not even going to be flipping bullish on XRP until we actually break over that $1.40 mark and hold that again, because any sort of trading that goes on between these levels here is just a chop zone. In my opinion, it's a wide chop zone. Of course, yes, breakouts are confirmed when we do break over like $1.05 and hold that level. But of course, I'm not going to get too excited for that either way, because we've been holding XRP for a fairly long time. We want higher price targets. So let's talk about how we get there. So Ripple has been posting a few things. They posted this yesterday: with a single connection, receive access to the best blockchain technology for global payments, on-demand liquidity as an alternative to pre-funding, and operational consistency through a common rulebook. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because, we've been seeing a lot of talks within this new system, globalization takeover events within, the Ripple community. But it's more so the idea that, on-demand liquidity as a service, okay, that is such a huge use case that I don't think a lot of people are realizing how big it actually will become. It's disruptive technology to, a $27 trillion issue. It's the pre-funded account, pretty much problem that Nostro accounts hold. We've said this multiple times. I'm sure that you guys are probably tired of hearing about it. But the reason why I bring that up is because at its current market valuation for XRP, which of course, XRP will have to be utilized for on-demand liquidity services. But overall, XRP at its current price, even with market cap, as well, it's extremely undervalued. It's the most suppressed asset in the space because of the SEC. All while this is happening, though, we are seeing the IMF saying restructuring government domestic debt is like surgery. Only do it if you must. The IMF blog outlines the key trade-offs and considerations. With ISO 222 coming, with SWIFT pretty much moving into ISO 222, with a lot of these assets like XRP, pretty much being revolutionary technology, I do believe that we are headed into a crypto-adopted world where we will see, the financial system of tomorrow, the financial system of, even the next day, all built within crypto. And I'm actually very excited to see this unfold because in my mind, we could really see where Ripple is headed. I mean, look at this. Check the jobs. 15 liquidity engineers slash analysts, CBDC automation engineer, sidechains automation engineer, 2 anti-money laundering slash sanctions jobs, NFT program manager, DeFi marketing manager, 2 CBDC product managers as well, and 2 tokenization product managers. We already know that Swift is getting in onto the tokenization game. They want to offer, even digital assets as well. And that's a $24 trillion market by 2027 alone. Okay? And if we're talking more so about tokenization by 2027, that's 5 years away. I get it. It's 5 years away. Nobody really wants to wait that long. They want to make money tomorrow, today, even yesterday. But overall, when we're talking about, by 2027, tokenization by itself being worth $24 trillion, imagine what the entire global market cap of crypto will be by that point. Now, I know, everybody's still anticipating XRP to go, and fly to these new prices immediately. I do suspect that we will see double-digit figures very soon in the year of 2022. But the issue here that we're currently looking at is just Bitcoin and the overall stock market. I believe that, sort of a wash event is going to happen first before the next major bullish event, which is totally fine. We could even be in that point right now where we're just kind of, I would say crab walking a little bit until we get to that next major breakout event where a lot of individuals just get shaken out due to, patience alone. But I still suspect that when we're looking at XRP, when we're looking at a lot of these technologies in this space, I do believe that what Ripple is building within its own ecosystem in terms of the RippleNet, first off, RippleNet products that are utilizing XRP are going to be huge. And we look at also what they announced, which is the Ripple Liquidity Hub, source digital assets with ease. This is coming in 2022. It's already 2022 right now. And we do see, the Ripple Liquidity Hub will enable enterprise companies to easily and efficiently source digital assets from a broader crypto market. They're essentially building out a digital asset bank, if you will. And we do see here, enterprise digital asset sourcing solution, plug and play. I've always said plug and play is huge, especially for these major banks. Optimized pricing, access to capital as well. This is huge. Okay, this liquidity hub should not be disregarded at all. You got to understand what they are building because in terms of even the payments network, on-demand liquidity by itself is a huge use case. Line of credit, also very big for SMEs. In fact, talking about SMEs, I'm going to get into that. We look into this, right? Now, if you guys did miss it, we do see our Ripple partner, Moha Loop, just released a new white paper talking about supporting hub operators to deliver instant interoperable payments. Ripple Liquidity Hub is launching in 2022 plus ISO 222. Moha Loop has some serious power on their board as well. This will be huge. Check this out. So support hub operators. We also see here, did you hear? We announced our plans for Ripple Liquidity Hub, which we've just discussed. Moha Loop 1 for its solution for bridging the last mile, bringing cross-border payments to users in emerging market economies who rely on mobile money transfer systems. Pretty interesting. And of course, look at the board. These are some fairly large names. I mean, first off, they are all from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And then we also see here, head of partnerships, next billion users, Africa, Google, okay? Rockefeller Foundation as well. These are some very large names. And this is that white paper that just got released on December 30th. This is talking about, interoperability and real-time payments, essentially. And we do see here, it's just a matter of time. Feds Powell says new innovation hub will help central banks improve payments. We even see here, BIS, innovation hub. It doesn't really take a lot of brain power to understand what is being built. In my mind, I think that when we're talking about this new liquidity hub, this new, innovation center to support this innovation hub, it all kind of leads me back to XRP. And we do see here the last mile. Check this out, right? Today's complicated global payment system fails to meet customer expectations due to subpar performance and speed. Our last mile playbook details how blockchain technology can overhaul this process. And we also see here, incredible potential for Ripple's partnership with Palau or Palu, however you guys want to pronounce it. The world's first government-backed national stablecoin could come to the XRP ledger thanks to the custom token functionality next year. Again, This is incredible things. And we do see Zange.com will develop a carbon credit solution on the XRP, ledger. This goes back to December 16th. We talked about this, how big that is as well. And then, of course, United Nations transforming our world, the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. It does not take a lot of brain power, like I said, to understand what is being built. These are the exact same logos. Okay, and this is all for sustainability. This is carbon credit solutions to develop, look at this, on the carbon neutral XRP ledger. This is huge. And all of listen, call me a tinfoil hat wearer, but all of the breadcrumbs lead us back to Ripple and XRP. I honestly think that XRP is going to be huge. I do believe that Ripple is going to be a large name as well. And like I said, SMEs are also very big. I mean, look at this. By 2027, the value of cross-border payments is expected to reach $250 trillion. Okay? Now, with this, we look at the issues here. So first off, for users and entities such as small and medium businesses, SMBs, this has been transformative, right? This is in terms of, utilizing new overall technologies instead of using the legacy infrastructure that is still terrible. And we do see here, for instance, in Australia, e-wallet use rose 90% between March 2020 and March 2021, which is becoming the most popular contactless payments, solution. And then, of course, real-time transactions rose 41% from 50 billion to 70.3 billion. Many of these are cross-border e-commerce transactions, which rose 17%. And we do see here, global payments revenue is predicted to grow 1.9 trillion to 2.5 trillion in 2025. And the G20 has made cross-border payments a priority. They identified 4 primary issues: cost, speed, transparency, and access. I just want you guys to understand, and I want you to keep note of these 4. You know why? Because they're all talking about how big cross-border payments are going to be within the SMB scene, the SME scene as well. SMEs are not to be disregarded. And then we go back a little bit in time to Ripple's SME. This is their big opportunity in SME business, basically. We see the cross-border payment flows, 10 to 15 trillion, their revenue as well. But I want to make note that first off, we also see here the cross-border payment scene for B2B is, with the market exceeding $125 trillion in 2017, the firm estimates revenues from this market will surge another 9% by 2022, reaching almost $3 trillion as well. But I want you guys to understand the issues here. The main issues for SMEs, pain points: visibility, traceability, speed, and cost. And here's the cost as well, and the settlement times, the error rates, 4 to 6%, 2 to 5 days for settlements, $30 to $100 per transaction in terms of fees. We see new technology can bring better services to SMEs. Who's doing this? Well, first off, we look at about Ripple. Speed, reduced cost, resiliency, and fraud protection, rich data transfer as well, increased transparency and accountability, one standardized connection. So when we look back on what the G20 is trying to make a priority, they are really kind of focused on 4 primary issues: cost, speed, transparency, and access. Who's solving that? Well, first off, we know a lot of DLTs are solving it, but who has, 300 plus financial institution, already partnerships under its belt? Who has massive connections around the world with major banks already? Ripple. Okay, and what are they going to utilize to get the highest potential overall pros from this? The fastest speed, the lowest cost. What are they going to use? They're going to use XRP. They're going to use the on-demand liquidity service. They're going to use the cross-border payment service, which utilizes the on-demand liquidity service, as you guys do see here, right? And when we're talking about XRP as the bridge currency, I truly do believe that we are going to grasp a large portion of these major markets that are worth trillions and trillions of dollars. $250 trillion by itself is very large. But what if we go after the derivatives market? I mean, that's going to be massive in itself. And then, of course, let's go back a little bit in time. Again, here is July 7th, 2021. We're talking about tokenization, okay? And, of course, In terms of a tokenized future, we're seeing about 80% of central banks are exploring use cases involving central bank digital currencies, with 40% already testing proof of concept programs. Okay? Nothing too crazy there. It's just the idea that, in fact, the World Economic Forum projects 10% of the world's GDP will be tokenized by 2027. And we know at some point in time, nearly 100% of the world's GDP will be tokenized. We just don't know when, but we do know that 10% by 2027, that's a fairly large move. And this is going to be a lot of money. I mean, Swift by themselves projected already $24 trillion. And all of this is talking about line of credit, on-demand liquidity, all centered around, you guessed it, XRP. In my mind, XRP is a clear winner. Not because of, the biased XRP community or, hey, XRP is going to go to $1,000 overnight because they're going to flip the switch. No, XRP is going to be a clear winner because Ripple has fully positioned themselves with their massive amounts of customers. They have a financial overall bridge to massive names in terms of the financial institutional space, the private banking space. I mean, their partnerships alone should tell you where Ripple is going to be positioned in the future, especially when all of the talks are around restructuring the entire financial system. Okay? Right now, currently, we're sitting on this legacy infrastructure that is extremely poor in terms of its design. Okay, we look at the issues that are, plaguing the world in terms of SMEs, SMBs. Even the P2P market also sees the problems here. Flows are expected to continue to go astronomically crazy over time. And I just want you guys to understand that everybody's kind of centered around, remittances and stuff like that. Here's remittances. Here's accounts payable by SMEs. Here's marketplaces payouts to SMEs. Look at how large this overall flow is compared to remittances. That's why I don't really care about remittance payments. Of course, yes, sure, they provide a ton of value, but this is where a lot of that money value will flow into, especially comparing, where we are in terms of the market areas. This is why the US does not really matter in terms of, hey, what if XRP never wins the lawsuit? Well, they move out, of the US, they have their headquarters positioned overseas, and they continue to disrupt all of the many markets around the world. We already know the US dollar is pretty much losing its overall dominancy every single day that we continue to print money. And guess what? A lot of the money flows that are around the world account for large portions. Eastern Europe, 43% in terms of the SME cross-border payments revenues in the highest margin emerging markets. Asia Pacific 34%, South America 12%, South Asia 11%, and we all, in terms of Ripple, they have direct ties to a lot of these areas. So I am not too concerned with the US. Okay? So with all of that in mind, yes, I do believe that XRP will continue to thrive even within this lawsuit. I do believe that Ripple and XRP are clear-cut and dry winners in the long term. I do believe that currently, right now in this market sentiment, yeah, sure, we're a little bit bearish. Things could, happen drastically. We could have that massive drop down to test the September lows, which I do suspect that we get there eventually at some point in time. Or we could just go parabolic and break over 53.5K, which is what I'm expecting on Bitcoin eventually. But we're not out of the water until 56K exact is, pretty much targeted. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this video. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.